Hello everyone and welcome to Troll Market Tarot. After this long time of me not actually doing any videos, I think I said, but I work in one of the, I don't know if it's the biggest, it is quite big though, and it's an iron mine in Sweden, and we've had a repair stop. It means that they stop the entire mine, all the factories, all the everything just stops, and then everything is repaired. I was mentioning this before, and I think it shows up in a reading that will actually be posted later, a summer special, if you will, where you can see my nails progressing from like decent to absolutely horrible by the time the video ends, because I recorded it over several days. This is the end result. I just think my nails, my hands, they're kind of fun. This really says nothing though. It was 10 days where I really just worked 12-hour shifts every day, so not that extremely much. But then you also have to factor in the travel to and from work, and whoop, we're up to 14 hours. And then you have to add shower, eating, cooking, blah blah blah. In the end, it was pretty much around 19-hour days for 10 days. I was pretty tired. So then I took a bit of a weekend now the past 2 days that I've been home, just to relax and clean my house, wash my bed sheets, that sort of thing. But it's been amazing. It's also been my first year doing health and safety work. So I've been walking around like watching how people work, where they work, warning them about stuff, making sure they use the proper safety equipment. Most have been really good about using the protective gear. Most of them have been really good about doing their best to prevent accidents. The accidents that did happen were not actually caused by anyone being sloppy. Sometimes things, they just happen. Anyways, this isn't really interesting to you. I was gonna do this reading. I was actually asked, let's see if I can get the exact phrase, because it was a friend of mine who asked, what do I need most in my life right now? And I think that's an interesting question, because mainly it could be what do I need to do, or what do I need to add to my life? But it can also be, what do I need from others, or what output do I need to seek, or input. Sorry, it was the other way around. So it could be both external and internal, and we are going to look at both. But then something happened. I was going to go with my usual 4-card setup, and you know how I love doing the meditation cards as selectors? Well, I was going to pull 4. They came out in doubles, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will probably not happen again. I don't want to do 7 piles in a reading. Or maybe this is a subject that a lot of people need to hear. So there need to be piles for a lot of people. Rather than me doing 2 readings on the same subject, maybe this was necessary. And again, as requested, I am using crystals on the piles. This one, I don't even think most people can see, but it's actually there. As is this one. The others are pretty straightforward. They're visible. These 2 are the wild cards. They're the ones. Anyways, I'm not going to give you any clues as to what to select. Just choose, select intuitively. Connect. Get in touch with yourself and go, which pile is for me? And maybe there is no pile for you, but, make sure that you pick the correct one. There might even be more than one right now. We'll find out. But there you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See you in your reading. Hello, those of you who chose pile 1. I don't know if you noticed my my Beltane special. I managed to get a candle drip on the cloth, so I had to refurniture. But the dragon, I don't know if he's staying. This is really for like scented oil burner type thing. But he wanted to join today, and so who might argue with that, you know? So this is the layout for today. It might change, might not change. I'm not big on the whole aesthetically pleasing sort of thing. I'm not a good designer. I'm not good at visual stuff. But the dragon wanted to join, so we're letting the dragon join. That's, you know, straightforward enough. Anyways, the question is what you need most in your life right now. And we're going to start out with the internal, like I said in the intro, but I don't know if anyone watches the intro. We're going to look at both what you need to like do for yourself or give yourself, as well as what you need to get externally. Like, let's say I really need a good night's sleep and a hug. I can give myself the good night's sleep, but I can't give myself the hug, not properly. And that I might need to ask someone for a hug. So that's why we're looking at both what you can give to yourself directly and what you may need to seek externally. If you sort of get the picture. I'm hoping the sound is okay. I still haven't been able to get a new mic. I don't know, the camera's pretty shoddy. I haven't been able to get a new camera, but you know, it is what it is. We work with it, or we don't. Anyways, here we go. There, and for externally as well then, or what you can get from others, or need to get from others. And there's so many ways to like look at that as well, but we'll see what the cards say, because yeah, the circumstances might be different depending on, you know. That one. And that one. Okay. Okay. So, first thing I'm thinking here, you have two coin cards. You have the 5 of coins, and you have the Knight of coins, and then you have the 10 of cups. So, this kind of is, I'm gonna suspect that you're feeling a bit of financial or physical shortcomings right now, like you don't have enough, is the feeling I'm getting there. But that you need to, and I know this is, if you're actually in a financial crisis now, what I'm going to say might sound really harsh, and I'm sorry about that, but it is still what I'm getting here. Because you have the 5 of coins with the lack, the debt, the not having enough, the feeling like you're never gonna have enough. It is, or can be, an emergency even. Like you need money and you need it now. But what it then goes on to is the Knight of coins. And that's being very systematic, planning, knowing where you're going, knowing what you want. So if this is a financial situation, you might, for example, okay, these are all going to be bad examples because for some of you, the financial crisis is because of losing your job. For some of you, it is because of not being healthy. For some of you, it is, you know. But in each of these possible scenarios, there is something you can do to get money which is not going to harm you. I don't see anything here suggesting that you need to do a, you know, the desperate grab just to get by another day. There is something you can do, which is stable, tried and true, systematic, and that if you think about it, you know what it is. For myself, and again, I am sorry if you are actually having a really tough time financially. If this is a small disaster, then my example now is going to seem like a joke. But This past winter was really, really, really tough. I don't know if I said, well, I have said, don't know if you've heard me say it. I live above the pole circle in Sweden. In the winters, we get like minus 40 Celsius from time to time. Usually only around minus 30, but minus 40 is not unusual. It happens regularly. And I work, and I have 2 hours driving to and from work. And the electricity prices have been incredible. It's been like 4 times higher than they normally are. Which means that this winter I bought, first of all, I bought almost twice as much firewood as I did last year because I knew it was going to be tough. I didn't know how tough it was going to be. But I'm glad that I bought that extra wood because it turned out way worse than I could have imagined. Then they went out and said, like the authorities went out and said that electricity might be cut for like shorter periods of the day because there was an electricity shortage. And with the electricity prices, this was like, so I'm sitting there going, yep, I'm going to have to use firewood way more than electricity. I probably shouldn't be using electrical heating at all. But when I'm at work, I either use electricity or I leave the house cold. No one's at home making fire then. So in the end, what I did, and it was a small nightmare, every night when I came home from work, I would make a fire and I would get the house up to around 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. It was like a sauna in here. And then I would go to bed. When I'd wake up, it would be 13 to 15 degrees Celsius. So pretty cold, really. And I'd do the same thing again. Make the fire, get it up to 30 degrees Celsius, and I'd go to work. And when I came home, it would be 13 degrees Celsius again, and I'd repeat that. So the temperatures were going up, down, up, down, up, down. It's not good for the house. It's not good for my mental health. It's not good for anything, really. But financially, it meant that I still only had electricity bills at like 3,000 to 4,000 Swedish kronor, which is like just roughly $300 to $400 if you're in the US. I think most people are familiar with that currency and can like sort of relate to how much that is. Now my brother, on the other hand, didn't have firewood to be able to do that. He used electrical heating a large part of the winter, and I think his electricity bills came up to like 8,000 Swedish kronor. So more than twice of what mine was. Anyways, sorry, long tangent there. But this year, because I didn't spend all that money, I do actually have enough money to get a air heating system thingy installed this summer, that if last winter repeats itself this winter, I will be in a much better position to handle it without having to do what I did this winter just to get through it. Because I saved that money through a lot of hardship. Trust me, this was not an easy winter. It was terrible. But now I have the money to get that thing installed, and next winter will be better. Hopefully. So, what you have here with the Knight of Coins is basically suggesting that there are things you can do. They might not be fun. They're not going to be harmful to you. This is not suggesting you start selling drugs or committing crime. It is more systematic, more tried and true, more realistic, and maintainable. What's the actual word? Anyways, there is something you can do to get out of this. While doing that, though, the Ten of Cups is interesting because what this really suggests is you need to stay positive. You need to focus on what's good. You need to be happy about the things you have. Even, and this is kind of a manifestation thing, really, being happy about what you know is coming once you do this, once you get out of this. The happy, like, motivate yourself to keep working towards this stability and digging yourself out of this. I don't know if it's finances either, I mean, but it is in the physical realm. It is feeling lack of security or finances or property. But there is something you can do, even if it won't be very fun, it will work. So what you most need to do right now, it seems, is take the realistic approach to your finances and really appreciate what you have. So maybe, I mean, my example was in the mid-range. It could be way more drastic and terrible than that, or it could be smaller. Like, I really want to go to this place on vacation, but I'm short $500. $500, 3 months to go, $150 a month, roughly. Not good at numbers, me, that's just $450. But you get the idea. What is it that you can save up on? I know that the internet meme thing is the whole millennials can't buy houses because they buy avocado toast, which is, of course, bullshit. But there is also a level. There are scales in this. Let's say you buy one avocado a day to make toast. That's like, well, they're not as expensive as cigarettes, but that's also a great example. You know how a pack of cigarettes every day, if you didn't buy them and just put the money away, you'd have quite a bit of money at the end of the year. That sort of thing. There is something you can do to achieve this financial security that you're trying to reach. But the main thing is to appreciate what you have. So instead of focusing on the hard work or the lack, focus on the things that are still good so that you remain happy. So that you don't dig yourself down in a ditch here going, everything is about this thing that is bad. It isn't. Everything is about the things that are still good. Those are what keep you going. Those are what you're working for. And they will lift you out of this. Now, so that's for the internal, what you need to give yourself, which I would say appreciate what you have and take a dependable, steady, stable approach to finances. You might need to build up a bit of a buffer there, or some extra, or pay off something. But take the stable, trustworthy approach. And really, really appreciate what you do still have. Because there are things. You just have to find them. Even if it is as simple as I still have both my arms. Or if you don't, it could be I still have both my legs. Or if you don't, it could be I have access to the tools, like a wheelchair or something, that helps me even though I don't have both my legs, and I'm very happy about that. You get the idea. Be happy about what you do have. Even if it's very little. Even if it's just I have my dog and nothing else. Be grateful for the dog. But you need to focus on the good stuff. Okay, we're looking at what you need from the external now. Are you actually in financial difficulties right now? So if you're looking at this, it's basically not mirroring, but here you have cups, coins, coins. Here you have cups, coins, coins. They're like twisty. But here you have the King of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. So what you need right now from your surroundings or externally, I would say you might need help. You might need support, ideally from someone who loves you. So if this is really a financial disaster, maybe you need to ask someone you know who would be male principle, male energy, but it doesn't have to be a man. And possibly even someone who loves you, who you trust or who you know loves you, and ask if they can give you advice, if they can give you a loan, if they can give you a job, because this Six of Pentacles, that is having enough so that you can share. The King of Coins, that doesn't mean that he should give you all his money necessarily. That depends on the situation. But you might have someone around you that if you ask them, they might be able to help you. But in that case, it's of course very important that you make sure that you can pay them back later on, and that you enter this with honesty, absolute honesty, and, well, love. Because there might be someone around you who could help you, but you might be too scared or too proud or not trust them or yourself. But it really looks like your problem right now might be money. and being too focused on that. You need to stop focusing on it as a disaster, but also, if you know someone who could help you, I think you should ask them. There is someone out there who could actually help you. Then the question is, what is the price you'd have to pay for that help? That might not be ideal, I don't know. Let's see if we can get an advice dragon for you in this, actually, because I'm a bit curious. Renewal. Okay. So that probably is that you are going to have to renew how you do things in this situation. Could even mean renewing a relationship with someone, but don't let anyone use you for money, okay? That's pretty important too. You don't want to get stuck in a debt situation. I very much doubt that the cards would suggest go to this person who abuses you, give them, have them give you money to abuse you. I don't ever think that something like that would come up. Your meditation card is the Mandragora Mother. Find the secrets hidden in the brambles. Find the secrets hidden in the brambles. We are going to look at, because I think we're going to go with my Heindel baby here. I'm a bit curious about this. We're going to see if we can get a clarifier. For the King of Coins, at least. Oh, and you have the Two of Cups again. Two of Cups, Two of Cups. So this is probably someone who loves you or you love, but there is love here. Like, probably you love each other. And they would be willing to help you if you ask them. But by that, I also don't mean go to their house and ask them to give you $1 million. I mean, work with them. Ask them if they can help you set up a plan. There's so much love here. I mean, in the first position, it was like what you need from the external. This is a clarifier. I think there is someone who loves you who would be willing to help you. The renewal kind of suggests that maybe someone that you don't have much contact with, or it's someone that you, I don't know, feel like doesn't want to help you, but they actually do, or where you feel your pride is compromised if they help you, or someone that you think sees you as a burden. They don't, they love you. And I think they would be willing to help you if you ask them. But make sure that you ask them the right way. Not, please give me a lot of money, but maybe help me work out this situation I'm in. This looks like it was a financial question / situation. I think you should really think about who this might be and see if they can help you somehow. So that was interesting. Quite straightforward, really. I hope that your problem here is minor, but whether it's minor or bigger, I really hope that it turns out okay. I mean, this could be as easy as you're earning less money right now, or you're in the same situation as most of us where things just cost more because of inflation, and this person could be a financial advisor for you because they want to help you. It could be anything from that up to, I need a lot of money because my house is falling apart, and they could like give you a loan, I don't know, or advise you on how to invest or what company to best use to not spend too much. However the situation applies to you, I think you actually have someone around you, probably male energy, male principle, who loves you and who can help you. If you ask them. Really good luck with this. Please let me know what it's about and how it turns out, because I really hope this turns out well for you. Good luck. Hello everyone who chose pile 2. We are looking at, as I said, what you need most right now. And we're going to look at both what you can give yourself with this deck and what you need from others with this deck. Because I don't remember if I said this in the intro or in pile 1. Never mind, I'll just say it in every pile. Sometimes what we need is a good night's sleep, and we can give that to ourselves. And we need a hug. We can't really give ourselves a hug in the same way as someone else can. So we'd have to ask someone to give us a hug. Straightforward. This is what you can need to do for yourself. This is what you need from someone else. And, well, we'll see, I guess. So we'll start here with what you need from yourself. Or what you can give yourself that you most need right now. Oh yeah, I'm gonna look at those first, of course. So, honestly here, it's a bit interesting. We're not gonna get to these, but you have the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Devil. Now the card that I put out here to the side, I never explained that to pile 1, is actually the sort of what you should be doing. It's not an advice card as such. It's a what you need to do. What you need, though, according to this, is more feelings of passion and inspiration and actually being alive, and more emotional involvement, more feeling strongly for things, feeling engaged, feeling like you are part of things, in short, feeling like you're alive. The Devil, then, I can imagine, and this, you could interpret it several ways. I'm going to choose the positive one. The Devil still kind of encourages us to go live out our desires. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. The Devil usually seems to talk about addictions, abuse, codependency, that sort of thing, very often. But in this situation where someone needs more feelings of being alive, being passionate, being emotional, being in the now, the Devil offers quite a lot there. It's stop controlling yourself so much. Stop holding yourself back so much. As long as you're not hurting yourself or others without their consent, their express consent. Like, if we're talking, say, BDSM sex, that's a fun thing. But, and I feel like I'm very old saying this, you know how sometimes in, like, BDSM, you'd have spanking or slapping or even strangling, but all scenes, I was gonna say, all of those situations in a proper BDSM setting would be agreed upon. There would be a safe word. There would be communication before. What do we want? What do you want? What do I want? How can we achieve this? Is there anything you really don't want? And if I go too far, how do I know you're being serious? Because some people enjoy saying, no, 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 I don't want this, when they do. But then it's more of a game, where someone's saying, no, I don't want this, stop. Then you should listen and you should stop. So in BDSM, it's very common to actually lay out those rules before and having a safe word. And when that word is used, everything stops. The game stops, or the act stops, or the scene stops. Nowadays, I hear from a lot of my younger friends that people go into, say, one-night stands, and they strangle their partner without consent, without even asking first. And for me, dipping my toes slightly into BDSM here and there, that's shocking. I don't think that's okay. I don't think it's such a natural part of anything that consent shouldn't be asked for or given first. Strangling someone? Are you serious? Well, anyways, really what I'm just saying here is whether that is, going to a party or falling in love or having sex or doing whatever, don't maybe go out and do heroin because that's very addictive. Same with most heavier drugs. A lot of people go like, oh, I'm just using, I'm not addicted. But the lines are very blurry there. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, obviously. Yes, I am. But I'm not going to hold you to it. You still have the final choice. So even if I say don't go getting addicted to any heavy drugs, you might choose to do so. That's not up to me. But I can still advise you against it. The devil, however, that is acting on our base desires. If you can do that without hurting anyone, like say you want to feel more emotionally connected to things, go fall in love with someone. Go meet people, go to a cuddle party, go to a speed dating event. Or if you feel like you're all work, no play, go to the pub, go to a concert, go out and have fun with a few friends. But the key word here is fun. It's not take out your frustrations on yourself. It's not take out your frustrations on anyone else. It really is just go experience the things you feel you need. If you're bored, do something fun. If nothing feels like fun, ask people in your situation what they did to break out of it. The feeling I'm getting here is hopelessness and stagnancy, like everything's the same and I don't really care about anything. Find something to care about. It could even be like fostering animals. But then I'm not sure why the devil, yeah, well, I am actually. The devil with the codependency, taking care of an animal who needs you, that could very much actually be a devil aspect. You're being bigger than someone else. Also, there are goats in the picture and an ant. So, but no, the devil kind of speaks to act on what it is you want. Don't hold yourself back necessarily. Whereas I'm going to censor that a bit and say, act on your desires, but don't hurt anyone. And ideally also don't hurt yourself. Just do whatever it is enough to an extent where you start feeling relaxed or happy or passionate or emotional or engaged. But don't go overboard. Do not go too far. That's not good for you or anyone else. But you do need to give yourself something to care about and to feel about and to be engaged in. That's what you need from yourself. And that's what you can give yourself. Even if it doesn't feel like it. Well, let's see what you need from the surroundings, the external, from other people. There we go. Oh my god. I'm sorry. This is just too perfect. Yep. Three of Cups. Temperance. And the Hierophant? Yeah. Three of Cups, Temperance, and the Hierophant. You remember what I said here about if there's something you want to do, go do it. Have fun. If you're bored, go to the pub with some friends, but don't go overboard. Three of Cups. These are the friends or the other people. Go see other people. Have fun with other people. That is definitely what is being suggested here. Take contact. Is that how you put it? Anyways, get in touch with people. Do things with people. Have fun with people. Don't go overboard. Temperance, really. There again, tempering the devil. Don't go too far. Don't overdo it. Just, don't hurt yourself or others. Don't go too far. And if you know, for example, this is just an example, but if you know that you tend to get dramatic and cry when you're drunk, and you're out with new friends and you don't want to scare them off, then don't drink so much. And if you know that you, for example, have problems with limiting yourself, don't drink. Offer to drive that night. Tell a small white lie and say you have to be home by blah 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 because, or tell them the truth. I don't, I don't want to make a bad impression right now, so I'm taking it a bit easy because I'm feeling emotionally vulnerable. And if I drink, then risk is that I'll spiral into drama, and I don't want that. Can we just have fun without me being drunk? That's just an example, but hopefully you see what I mean. What you do need, though, is to go out and have fun, meet other people, connect with them. The Hierophant tends to be more traditional about things, which means that I could imagine this as an after work or going on a date or meeting up with some friends that you've known for a while and they usually go bowling on Fridays. That it's less go jump from an airplane just to feel something. It's more, this thing that I used to enjoy, maybe I should try that again. Temperance there again, telling you not to go overboard. You don't need the extremes. You just need the nice things that used to make you happy with other people. I think that's probably important. But it might be meeting new people, and I'm saying that for a reason, but we're gonna see if we can get an advice dragon for you as well, because I love little advice dragons. Okay, and I am curious about these Three of Cups there. Who that or what that might be. Huh. Okay. Go on a date with someone. I think so, actually, because you have luck. And that's not an advice. That's telling you you are lucky. But the Lovers, when I asked about who to go party with, it could be someone you just dearly love. But with the Hierophant, that could also really mean go on a date. Yeah, it could be that. Experience something new. Try to connect with someone. Go on a date. Maybe go on several. Then you'll have to be incredibly careful with Temperance and the Devil so that you don't make, not just a bad impression, but so that you don't hurt someone or let yourself be hurt. Because let's say you're going on a date and you desperately want to feel love. You want connection. You want passion. But not with the person you're on the date with. But you ignore that. You're not feeling it, but you so want to feel this that you tell yourself that, oh, it will happen. I'll stay with this person. And before you know it, you're married and you have 2 kids and you regret everything, except possibly the kids, because, they're not to blame in this. What I'm saying is, though, you probably are lucky. You might... Yeah. Here you actually might need to keep check of your own emotions and feelings so that you don't tell yourself to feel things that aren't really there. But at the same time, since the Devil is here, it could actually be that you're scared of or worried about actually doing these things, the connection, the passion. That might be why you're missing it. You're not letting yourself feel it. You're controlling yourself too much. That is one option. But you are lucky right now. And if someone asks you out and they seem nice, or you want to ask someone out, do. Because that seems to actually be what this is about. You're feeling flatline and getting something new, a new friend, a new relationship. And I don't mean go get a relationship for the sake of a relationship. I mean, go connect with people, to have fun, to feel things again. You don't have to fall in love with the first one you meet, but it might help you start feeling like things are moving forward. You're progressing. See what I mean? Your advice card is Thimble Witch. There is magic in beginnings, so start something new. I love that. Meditate on it, but start something new. Get new friends, meet new people, do new things. Don't control yourself too much, but also don't let yourself run off in whatever direction your heart, brain, mind takes you, or your fears. So you need to keep balance here between letting yourself feel, letting yourself do, and not going overboard. But I think the first thing you need to do here is to actually get in touch with people. Do things that seem fun. Talk to people who seem interesting. Don't get too focused on what you need them to be in your life. Like, okay, this is one of my favorite examples, really, but let's say I go on a dating app and a guy asks me out and we don't hit it off. Do I then go, yeah, I'm never talking to you again? Or is he suddenly, I mean, he's nice, we get along, we just don't fall in love. But maybe he has a friend who I will meet at a party, which I go to because we keep talking as friends. Not everyone you meet has to have a, like you give them a role in your mind. I want this person to be my boyfriend or best friend or mentor, or they get roles. They get assigned roles from what you need or want them to be. But the guy you want, or girl, I don't know, the person you want to be your partner, maybe they're not your ideal partner, but maybe they're a very good friend. And having a good friend is not a bad thing. And maybe 5 years down the line, they meet another person at their job and they go, I have a friend and you'd be perfect for them. Do you want to meet them? And that turns out to be the love of your life. So don't dismiss people because they don't fit into the role that you wanted them to fill. But also, don't stick to people just because you're scared of being alone, if that's what it is. But in this case still, you are lucky right now. Start something new. Go out, see people. And let yourself act on your desires, but don't go overboard. It's a fine balance here. That's what you most need right now. Things to care about, things to feel about, things to be excited about. Go get them. Good luck. Please let me know how this goes. Hello everyone who chose pile 3 out of 7. I have quite some work left to do. We are, I think I said we're looking at what you need most in your life right now. So you have to keep in mind this is a snapshot of right now. If right now you most need to have a glass of water, then I'm gonna try to not focus on the glass of water. Just go have a glass of water now. If you need a glass of water, so that we don't muck up the reading. So we're gonna start by looking at what you can give yourself that you need most right now. And then here, we're gonna look at what you can get from, well, externally, from other people that you need most right now. That's how we're gonna do this reading. I have decided. As for, I didn't mention this in pile 2, I forgot, but the dragon is, I don't know if he's staying, but he wanted to join for this reading, so we're letting him join. He's very pretty. Yeah, he's very pretty, and he's a dragon. I love dragons. So, so what you need most right now that you can actually do is the Magician, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Swords. So the Magician, very much about the whole manifestation, knowing what you want, knowing that you can get it, and then you have the tools, you have the power, you just need to know what it is and go for it. So having that as what you need kind of suggests to me that you need a goal. You need to know, like you need to map out what it is you want. You feel like we have a bow and arrow here and it's not aimed. You being that, the arrow, emoting bow and arrow here is not really working, but that you right now lack goals and objectives. You kind of lack direction or passion in what you're doing, since we have the Queen of Wands here as well. The King of Swords, I have in the other piles, and I keep not mentioning this, I'm sorry. The card that ends up out here is sort of not quite an advice, it's more of a what you can utilize to make it better. The King of Swords suggests a brainstorming session. What do you want? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to feel? Like, if you're just going through the motions right now, and it doesn't even have to be something you're suffering from, it doesn't have to feel painful or anything, but it might feel directionless, like, is this all there is? It isn't. But only you can know what more you want. And humans thrive on having goals. If we're happy with everything, we stop working forward. We just sit down and we decay is the wrong word. Well, sort of. Like, we sit back, we stop trying. We stop progressing, we stop developing. It's very good being happy and at peace with what you have, but also to keep forward momentum, to keep developing, you need to have new goals, even if they're really small. Like, a few years ago, this is probably something I shouldn't be telling on the internet. I have really wonky teeth, always have had. And back in the 80s, when I was a kid, there was this penicillin type that they gave to kids a lot. And only like 10-15 years ago, 10-15 years later, did they realize that this particular penicillin permanently stains teeth and bone. There are some meds that do that, but this penicillin type, when I was a kid, stains teeth, bone, and makes it like vaguely almost brownish. Now this is just a tint. It's not like I have brown teeth, but if you think like a hint of, and you can't bleach it away because it's embedded in the enamel. That also means that if I keep my teeth, really clean, no coffee stains, no red wine stains, I don't even drink wine, but back then I actually did. If I can eliminate those stains, the tint on the enamel will not be as obvious. It'll look like I have perfectly normal teeth. So I decided that I was going to take much better care of my teeth. Much better. And it's such a small thing. But it really also saved me money, because of course I got much better with all the dental care. So less holes, less gum issues, everything. All because I knew that I had a problem there that I couldn't do anything about. But what I could do was minimize the things around it. I could have just been happy with where I was. There was no problem. But now it's better. A very bad example, but kind of a personal one. You need to set yourself a goal. You need something to work towards, so that you don't just sit down and go, yep, this is my life until forever now. You need a goal. You need something that you feel passionate about to work for, that makes you feel engaged. That's what you need. Sit down, really think, what would you like to achieve? How do you want your life to look? What do you, even if, let's say that you're living the perfect life right now, could you help out with charity? Could you do coaching? Could you help others reach the same kind of life satisfaction that you have? For example, like, let's say you actually do have the perfect life. How did you achieve it? Can you help others do the same? Then, all of a sudden, you got a goal. You can make the world a better place for a lot of people. That's a noble cause, as well as something to be passionate about. So see sort of what I mean? You need to do the brainstorming. You need a goal. You need something to push for. You need something to feel passionate about. And you can give that to yourself. That's what you need. Now we're going to look at what you need, that you can get or need to get from your environment or the people around you. I just realized that the whole layout here is a bit wonky, actually. It's not straight lines. That's okay. Never was big on straight lines anyways. There we go. Okay. Alright. What I put there is the Dragon Advice cards, because we're gonna use them later. What you need from others seems to be more of the same, actually. I wonder if you are really bored, or if you're feeling really stuck and stagnant and like nothing is happening. Because you have pretty much the same thing here. You have the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords being the... And this is kind of what I'm thinking, because the Knight of Wands, that would be a person that you sort of can connect with and create with and have fun with. I know it doesn't have to be a lover. I keep saying this because sometimes it's important to tell people that, because our natural reaction nowadays, I've noticed, is to connect with someone, it has to be a best friend or a lover. We're not really interested in just having more friends or associates or things like close relationships that aren't romantic. A lot of people, at least, are less interested in that. It's like love is the highest meaning of life. Yes, absolutely. But partnered, romantic, monogamous love is not necessarily the be-all, end-all. Love comes in so many formats, and so many shapes, and so many, like, different setups that you can't really go, if this isn't a lover, then I don't want it. People can enrich your life in so many ways without being a partner like that. I'm not saying you think that way, but I know a lot of people do, so I just wanted to mention that. But Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, not quite counterpart energy. And the Knight and the Page are both, both indicative of someone slightly younger. So maybe this is you going into tutoring. I think I mentioned that. Yeah, I did. It might be, because the Page of Swords tends to be someone who wants to understand how everything works. They're all about the why is this, why is this, why is this, why is this? You, apparently knowing a lot of things here, you can answer those questions, or you can find the answers together. And I think I mentioned this before in another reading, in a different situation, that when I lived in Paris, I think it was, might have been Ireland, I think it was Paris, I think it was both actually, but I mean the one I specifically mentioned, where I was a bit bored with the country, but every time my mom came and visited, and she was so fascinated with everything, it kind of rubbed off on me, and I didn't find my country as boring anymore. It was like, this is fun, this is exciting, because I saw it through her eyes. This is kind of the same but different. If you meet someone who wants to understand, who is already passionate about things, and that's what you want to achieve, then with them, you can, like, you get their passion rub off on you, sort of thing. And this suggests younger person, so it might be tutoring someone, it might be helping out at a school, or well, anything really. Could be getting a dog. Not saying either of these are dogs. I just mean, it doesn't even always have to be a person, but this is people around you, passionate. You need to find someone around you passionate that you can share passion with. And I'm not talking sexual or romantic now, I'm talking passion about a cause or a subject. So that you don't... When you feel really strongly about something and people around you don't care, you still feel strongly about it, but it becomes an internal thing. Whereas before you wanted to share it with the world. I think you need someone to share with. But there is someone out there like this. You just need to find them. We're getting a Dragon Advice card. And it says Resilience. And I want to find out if, where and how this person is, because obviously there will be people out there, but maybe you won't be meeting them tomorrow, you know? So let's see where you might find them. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. You need to shake up your habits a bit. The first thing you need to do, and I think these connect again, and it has for every group so far, so that wouldn't be too far-fetched. Yeah. Here you have the magician. So you need to know what you want to create. You need something that lights you up. Brainstorming, being intellectual about it, is a good way to start if you can't make yourself feel the passion for something right away. Then you brainstorm until something clicks and you go, that actually sounds like it might be fun. And then you work on that. Resilience, less happy news here. This isn't going to happen overnight. You are going to have to put in work. And it might take a while before you meet this person, and we're getting here. There is someone out here who will or can help feed your passion once you find it. It's not going to be a case of you being humdrum and they suddenly come into your life and fix it for you. Sorry, but if that was the case, I mean, that sometimes happens. But we have the magician here, which means it's not going to happen. It means you're going to have to find your own goal, and once you do, this comes. Also suggested by when I asked when you're going to meet them, the Ace of Swords, that's when you have the change of mindset, when you have the new idea, when you have the change of perspective. That's when this person shows up. So you need to do this first. You need to do the work first. Resilience suggests this, maybe it's not going to be easy. Maybe it will feel like, oh, why should I? I'm too tired, I'm too bored, there's no point. Do it anyways. It's for your own good. Your meditation card is the gatekeeper. Let go. All things are possible on the borderlands. Let go. All things are possible on the borderlands. That's yours to meditate on. But I'm kind of thinking that you're keeping yourself in a too narrow mindset here. Go crazy. What is it that you absolutely want? The big things. Let yourself dream big. Big. And once you do, once you get in that mindset, things will start falling into place. The people you need, the passion you need, the right questions, the right answers, the support, the people that care about what you do. They are there. But you need to know what it is that you want first. And that's where resilience comes in. It won't happen overnight. But if you do the work, it will happen. So I hope that helps. That's what you need right now from yourself and from the outside world. Get to work on this. I'm really excited to see what you come up with. I mean that for real, because you have the opportunity here to go after your biggest dreams. You really just need to know what they are. Good luck. Please let me know. Hello everyone who chose pile, I have to think. Four. We are, as I think I was saying, gonna look at what you need most right now. Or we're gonna look at one, on one side rather, over here. It's gonna be what you need most right now that you can give yourself. Like the example I used in all the piles so far, sometimes we need a good night's sleep. That would be here. Sometimes we need a hug. And that will be over here, because we can't give ourselves a satisfactory hug. Someone else has to do that. So basically that's like, this is things that you can do for yourself, and these will be things that you need from others. I hope that makes sense. Whoop. Well, you've already decided, have you? Yeah, they had. Okay. There we go. I love this. I love this. The thing is, death pretty much just jumped out. I saw what the card was before I put it on the table because it jumped out. But you also have the star, and you have 2 of coins. So this is death, the star, and 2 of coins. What I've done in every reading so far is consider these as the things you need, and this as a almost advice, like how to do it. This is the 2 of coins. In this deck, it is called Change. They named the card Change. Death is change, among other things. So what you can do for yourself, the star is hope, it's cleansing, it's knowing that better things are coming, having trust in the future. There is probably something that needs to die. It's not you. It's a situation, something in your life that needs to go, that needs to change. Now, the two of coins for change is actually a bit fun, because 2 of coins is also very much yin-yang, balancing act, juggling, even multitasking sometimes. So it might be a slow death. It might be a planned death. Let's put it like that. It might be that you need to euthanasia some aspect of your life, and maybe you're scared. Maybe that's why you need this hope and this trust in the future. But something needs to change. That's really the only way to read this. The thing you can give to yourself is something needs to change. Something needs to go. Something needs to be renewed. Something needs to change. And you can go about this anyway, but given that the 2 of coins are over here, it really suggests that you approach this logically, but with trust. But with the juggling, I'm kind of wondering if you are scared right now. Maybe you even know what it is that needs to go, whether it's a job or a housing or a family member or a relationship or a friendship or a habit. Whatever it is, I think you know, but I'm not sure. I think you know what it is, and I think you're scared of what will happen if you let it die. And that's where the 2 of coins comes in. Being methodical, being logical, juggling the ideas, doing oh, I forgot the word, I'm so sorry. Deliberation. The positives and the negatives, the how can I, and then having trust, having hope. But whatever the situation is for you that needs to go, as long as you're not afraid of it, and as long as you actually think it through, you can do it. You can give yourself this. Let's see what you need for, whoops. I think I just did something to my camera again. I hate this. Well, cards are still visible, so we're gonna move on from here, and fingers crossed it doesn't like fall down. If it does, I'm gonna have to pause and then we'll just continue. You'll notice if that happens. Oh, I want a new camera. And anyways, what you can get or what you need from the external world, people outside of you. There we go. So, 8 of Wands, Knight of Wands, and 7 of Coins. I think you need your environment to challenge you. I think 8 of Wands and Knight of Wands, that's pretty, I'd say this is the positive stress or the friendly competition, but the Eight of Wands can also be doing something fun, going on an adventure, weekend trips, that sort of thing. Whereas in the Seven of Coins, you really have two aspects where one is recognizing um, recognizing when a project just isn't working, when something isn't improving. You might actually need someone around you who can challenge your bullshit. You're protecting whatever it is that needs to go here. You are probably protecting it, rationalizing it, going, well, it's not so bad, because you're not sure what you would do instead. So you might need someone to actually push you and go, well, why are you clinging to this? What are the options? Where would you go if this wasn't? If it wasn't this job, this person, this home, this habit, this friend, this, you get the idea. You might need your external, the people around you, someone around you to challenge you. Now, the tricky part about that, well, a weekend trip you can probably get anyone to go on. But this, the challenge, the saying, is this actually going to improve, or are you just pouring your energy into something that is dead on arrival? Not everyone is built to do that. It feels like maybe they should be, and it feels like maybe they don't care about you if they don't call you out on your bullshit, frankly. But at the same time, let's say, just for example now then, that this is a job. It's a job you've had for 10 years. You're not happy. You're not miserable either. You're just not happy. You make enough money. It's safe. It's secure. You're good at it. You're just not happy. You're not miserable either. You're just not happy. Your friend, who you've known since you were 10 years old, or your mother, or anyone, they're not gonna say, I think you should quit your job, you're clearly not happy. Because they trust you to know what's best, first of all. And if you've worked there for 10 years and not quit, then you probably know better than them if you can do it, if you can stand it, if it's worth it. They don't want to challenge your judgment. Also, no one wants to be the person to go, I think you should quit your job, and when you do, your life falls apart. It would be their responsibility. I'm going to be really, really disloyal, not loyal to a person I know now, but I'm not going to mention any names, so that's hopefully okay. I know a person who wanted to buy a house. They didn't really want that house, but they wanted a house. The house was there, it was a good option. So this person asked another person they knew, not me that time, should I buy this house? And the other person, the person they asked, said, no, I don't think you should buy that house. And then the house was sold to someone else. And the person who asked decided to be angry with the person they asked. They were like, well, if you hadn't said that, I would have bought that house. And my life would have been different. And everything would have been better. If you are perceived to make decisions for someone else, then they can also decide to take out the blame on you. No one wants that role. If you really need to hear from someone else what you should be doing, then you can't expect to ask just a random person in your friend or family group. If you really are this torn that you cannot make this decision by yourself, consider seeing a professional advisor about it, whatever it is. If it's work, family, relationship, whatever it is, there are people who specialize in giving advice. There are people who can help you see what you really want when you are torn, when you are juggling, when you aren't able to make a choice, when you just sit there and you're displeased but you don't make a choice. I mean, the death here, it doesn't even have to mean that you quit the job you're unhappy with. It could mean that you get another position at the job you're unhappy with. Just to like tone it down a bit, because this could be the extreme of you need to quit your job, but it could also be you need to stop doing this particular part of your job, if it's a job. But you get the idea. But the the friendly challenging, the positive stress, the weekend trip, yeah, you can find people who will give you that. Probably no questions asked. Someone to challenge your decisions, to challenge your choices, to tell you, well, effectively, as I said, to call you out on your bullshit. That might be harder, and that seems to be what you really need. And I'm sorry to say this, but most people will not take that responsibility. Take the risk of being to blame if you make the wrong choice. You might actually need to talk to someone who specializes in these things. I mean, let's say it's a relationship. There are marriage counselors. Let's say it's a job. There are job counselors. Let's say it's a habit. There are personal coaches. You get the idea. There are people who have trained for this, who are schooled for this, and who have paperwork to protect them if you make the wrong choice, so they're not afraid of giving their honest opinion. Whereas someone who is afraid of being blamed if you make the right decision, they might be afraid of it. So if you need to be challenged like that, I would say consider getting a professional. We're gonna get a dragon advice card for you. And it says childlike, and that's a bit interesting. We're also gonna look at this Seven of Pentacles because yeah. And your meditation card. And I just broke another nail. Your meditation card is the Green Man. Embrace your wildness. Embrace your wildness. The Dragon Advice card is childlike. Grape Jelly Dragon, childlike. I feel like these two really says it all, though. If you weren't being adult and logical and long-term thinking and planning and two of coinsy juggling, what would you be doing? If you were the child, the one that doesn't care about social conventions and I have to be able to pay my bills next month, what would you do if you were that child? Would you go ask your boss to like, I'm never answering the phone again, you can't make me, I want to work in this warehouse. Okay, bad example, or bad execution of example, but what would your inner child, what would your wildness do? What is it that you actually want to do? Because, I mean, you probably know. You probably know what it is that needs to die. And the worst part is, or worst, the weirdest here is the seven of coins. Someone to challenge you there. 10 of swords. Something needs to end. No one is going to give you that advice out of the blue. You're going to have to tell them or find a professional. I'm still going with that. If you are this unsure, either ask this wildness or your inner child, what do you want? What do you want to do? But then you have to take the methodical approach to it and think. And like, let's say you're leaving a marriage. Let's go with that extreme. Or you're leaving a job. Where are you going to live? How are you going to pay your bills? That sort of thing. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying you need to have a plan. Same thing here. You can go have fun with this fun person that you feel like you have fun with. There's a lot of fun. They might give you some passion and fun and make you feel like you care about things and things are fun. Positive challenge, positive stress, even competition on friendly terms. Fun. But this, you're gonna need someone who isn't your friend to help you with this. Again, get a professional. Like, whether it's a job advisor, relationship advisor, health advisor, the titles in the, or the answers in the title. It's what they do. And I think you should go see one. If you have a question that is this, because death, it's going to be a big thing. No matter how you turn this, it's going to be a big thing. And you can't just run off into forever and go, yep, I don't have to think about consequences. That's the bad part about being an adult. And still you are being encouraged here to be childlike. And what might this mean? I think it means that you already know what you want, but your adultness is preventing you to act on it. Are there other solutions? I don't know. It depends on your situation. But frankly, again, see an advisor who specializes in your situation. That's the best and only advice I can give you here. Because something big is going on, and I don't think you are happy with this situation. See someone professional. That could be all you need. Yeah. And that took a serious turn, but then again, I didn't expect otherwise. So, yeah, please do see a professional about this thing. I really think you should, because it might help you so much. And it might help you feel less misunderstood by people around you as well. Because, as I said, no one wants to be responsible for your choices. They don't want that responsibility. Of course not. So, yeah, hammering the nail here. See a professional. Good luck with this. If you know what it is, let us know. I was going to say, it's not going to help me knowing. But I'm still curious, and I'm curious what you're going to decide to do, and I'm curious how it's going to turn out. And whether you tell me or not, I wish you good luck with it. For real. Hello everyone who chose pile, we'll have to count yet again. 4. No, 5 actually. Wow. Okay. 5. That's the most piles I've ever done. Actually, we are, as I believe I said, looking at what you need most in your life right now. We're going to start in this end with things that you can give yourself, or the things that you need most right now that you can give yourself. Then, over here, we're going to look at the things that you need most right now that you may need someone else to provide. The example I've been using in every pile so far, and that I will use again, is, for example, you need a night of sleep. You can give yourself that. In most cases, if you're a single parent, on the other hand, you might need a babysitter. Maybe that would have been a better example to use. Now I've used it as an example here. Good night's sleep, you can give yourself that, unless you also need a babysitter. The external world needs to help you with that. Okay. The example I did use was the good night's sleep versus a hug, because it's very hard to adequately hug ourselves. But then I don't have kids. Lots of people do. Sometimes you need a babysitter. I like how I saw a new perspective there. I learned something from these many piles. So we'll start with things you need, or the thing you need that you can give yourself. Here we go. You'd think I didn't shuffle, but I totally did. So we have the 8 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. And that's something you can give yourself. So the 8 of Cups, leaving situations that don't work, maybe even getting a bit of a fire going in yourself to replace them with something better. 9 of Cups, that's the wish card, the where everything good and positive comes to you. These I've mainly used as sort of an advice card, I guess, how to go about these things. So if you need to, what I'm thinking here, but this might just be me. 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups. 8 of Cups, leaving the situations that don't work. 9 of Cups, the wish card, everything is perfect. And the advice or how to go about it is the Knight of Cups. I have a feeling that you're not letting yourself appreciate everything you have in the now because of something bad that happened in the past. You're not letting the past go, is what I'm having a feeling of here. Maybe, okay, common example, but let's say you had a partner and the partner cheated. Now you have a new partner, but the nagging feeling that he might or she might cheat too is always there. In this case, let that go. Trust, love. Yeah, trust and love. And realize that you have, what you have here is the wish come true. Leave the past in the past. If someone hurt you before, maybe they said you were bad at your job and now you have the best job. And you have imposter syndrome now because someone once said that you weren't good at this. Forget that. Leave that in the past. You are good now. And they love you at your job now for what you do. And if this is when your kid was 3, they said they hated you because you didn't give them an ice cream. And now every time they ask for a snack, you give them the snack because you're scared that they'll say they hate you again, but they're 13 years old now. Realize, trust that they've grown up and that they do love you, that you know them, that you don't have to be scared of the past. That's kind of what I'm getting the feeling of with this. Let go of the past. Really dare. It's not just a case of you not appreciating what you have. It's of you not daring to appreciate what you have. And even if this 9 of Cups would turn out to not be what you hope it is, if this was a cheater and this turns out to be one as well, you're not going to enjoy it if you just sit around waiting for it. What you should do is live in the now. Trust in the now. Feel in the now. Let go of that. Oof, oof, oof. Like that. It's not there anymore. The past is gone. Now, of course, we all suffer from, not even suffer necessarily. The past gives us positive and negative things to bring to the future. But it's when you apply the past to everything in the present or in the future, it starts becoming a problem. So again, with the partner, if your ex cheated and now you suspect everyone of cheating. Not fair. Not everyone cheats. I've actually never cheated. Yeah. I mean, there are lots of people who have never cheated. Just because one does doesn't mean everyone will. So that's what you need most now, that you can give yourself. Let the past go. Stop judging current situations because of fears from the past. Move forward, trusting and loving what you have now. Because what you have now, in whatever area this then is, where you most need it, presumably, you have something good. You just don't dare trust it because of the past. Is how I'd read this. What you would need externally, though, or from external sources, we're going to look at that as well. Wait there. And there. And there. Okay. For once here, you might actually need encouragement from your environment. You might need them to challenge your view on things. With the tower here, that's tearing something down. It's removing everything. It's complete upheaval. But I'm thinking, in relation to this though, you might have to ask them about the things you're afraid of. Ask them about your worries and concerns. Be honest there, though. Like, again, I'm going to use the relationship with a cheater example. Let's say you had a partner that cheated on you. Those of us who have experienced that knows how devastating it really can be, like how damaging it can be. And then the next partner you have, it's like, I don't dare trust this person. It feels great. They're a new person. I acknowledge that. They're not the same. But how can I dare trust them when I know how much this thing hurts? But then that just leads to sort of turning off a bit of your vulnerability. You're not letting 100% go with the new person. In this case, hangman. You're stuck in that situation. You feel like you can't control it because you couldn't hear. Again, it doesn't have to be about a cheating partner. This is just a good example. Or good, it's just an example. Good or bad. Both the Empress here, this could actually be the case. Like, you're the queen of my heart. And it doesn't have to be a woman or man. The Tower, in that case, and like I said, I think, the ones out on the corner, yeah, I said that, are a bit like advice cards. In this case, the Tower would then mean tear down those walls. But you might need help tearing those walls down. Let them help you. Trust them when they say things, unless it's obvious that they're dodgy. But we're talking about obvious versus an irrational fear. There are differences. Yeah, I don't really... Ask them to work with you. Explain how you feel about whatever the situation is. Again, it doesn't have to be a partner. But dare to, like, reveal your fears. Don't go hysterical. Just address your doubts and ask them. Or tell them. Or tell them what you would need from them. And some people, some bosses, some partners, some situations are just blah. I mean, not everyone is going to be respectful and good about this. But if you think about it, the sooner you find out, the better. Because then you don't invest more time, emotions, energy into them. So you're gonna win doing this. Leave the past in the past. Appreciate and trust what you have. But also ask them to help you. Explain to them. I mean, that's obvious if it's a love relationship, but let's say that it's a job instead then. And you tell your boss that my old boss in the 50s used to slap my fingers with a belt and tell me that my typing was horrible, and ever since I'm scared of typing. That's why I always say nay. That's no in Swedish. That's why I always say no to typing the meeting notes. And your boss goes, well, I really admire your typing. I think you're the best typer. Don't be scared of typing. That's very, very simplified, but I think you get the picture because you're pretty smart. We're gonna get a dragon advice card as well. Because, you know, I love these guys. Goals. And Seed Spells is your meditation card. And it says, create your story. It is the most potent form of magic. Create your story. It is the most potent form of magic. That's your meditation message. Your advice card is Blueberry Dragon. Goals. Goals, I think, set goals. Let yourself move at a pace that feels comfortable. You don't have to drop everything tomorrow and just be, I'm awesome now. Learn step by step to trust that you're a good typewriterist. Typewriterist? Yeah. Or that your partner doesn't cheat or whatever it is. We're gonna clarify some things over here though. I basically want to know if you have to ask or if they will reach out by themselves. Because I think you're going to have, but I don't know. That's why we're asking if action is required on your end. Huh. So the Sun, with this, I would say, whoever this is, whatever the situation is, if it's a relationship, if it's a job, the people or person involved really appreciate you. They actually already try to make you feel good about yourself, to make you feel safe in your situation. They're actually doing what they think is the best they can, but maybe you need something else. And that's where you have to ask for it. That's where you have to open up and actually ask for what you need. But they already feel like every day they're giving you appreciation and security. Whether professionally or romantically or, as the situation applies to you. You are still stuck in this mistrusting, scared energy where you don't appreciate what you have now because you're too scared of losing it, basically. So, I think, whoever they are, Sun, Rose, this card, the whole feel of this card kind of says it. They are willing to give you whatever you need. But I think you might have to, not necessarily ask for it, but that you might have to tear down your own walls, is really how I'd put that. You might have to tear down your own walls here and let yourself be in this person's sunlight. You be the rose, they be the sun. And again, it doesn't have to be a person. But it looks kind of personal. Yeah, this reading got pretty short, but I think that's it. You've built up walls. You might need to tear them down, or rather, tear them down enough to ask for what you need, so that this person or situation or group or whatever can give you what you need. But create your story. It is the most potent form of magic. If you keep living in the, an old example, but a pretty good one actually, and again, it focuses on relationships, but apply it as it can be applied, that you write your own narrative, sort of thing. If you had one partner that cheated, then your mind goes into, there must be something wrong with me. Why else would they cheat on me? Everyone's gonna cheat on me. And then the next partner does as well. And then it just keeps going, because with every time it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And before you know it, you've become controlling, paranoid, angry, hateful, you hate yourself, you're scared all the time. I'm not saying it's right to cheat on someone like that, but you have to admit that it's a smaller step to take than cheating on someone who is just sunshine all the time. Because in reality, maybe you weren't happy with that person. Just realize that this isn't a light streak, it's a white streak in the stone. That's very pretty. Yeah, I'm just saying that in an unhappy relationship, it is probably easier for people to stray than it is in a happy relationship. Don't let this, whatever it is, job, relationship, friendship, family, health, anything, don't let it become a self-fulfilling prophecy of doom and gloom. Instead, create your story. Set positive goals. Live in this sunlight that this person or people around you are trying to provide. But tear down your walls enough to help them ask you to rebuild your situation. Change your perspective. Realize that you are the Empress. That would be sort of it. If you want to, let me know what this is about, though it feels like it might be kind of personal. Either way, I really wish you good luck, and I hope you can find the way to start working on these walls you've built. Leave the past in the past and move forward, where you have the Nine of Cups and the Sun. That is what you have. You just need to see it and appreciate it and dare trust that it is there for you. Good luck. Hello, everyone who chose pile 6. That is a lot of piles, but pile 6. We're gonna look at what you need most in your life right now. Over here, we're gonna look at what you need most that you can provide for yourself. Over here, we're gonna look at what you might need the outside world to provide. I've been using one example in all the piles except the last one where I suddenly felt like I had a better one. That being, sometimes you need a good night's sleep. You can give that to yourself by going to bed earlier. But maybe you have kids or a dog and they're keeping you up, and then you might need a babysitter. And a babysitter, that would be external world. Sort of see how this is going to work? Then we'll start by seeing what you need most right now that you can provide for yourself. Ooh, you're the first group to have that happen. I don't know if there's any significance. We'll find out. Okay, and then the no, well, I haven't actually, whatever. I haven't spread these out in the previous ones until I've been done with these. See, this is kind of funny, and I'm kind of thinking I know now why justice, because it's 9 of Wands, 6 of Coins, Page of Cups, and Justice. What I'm thinking here is you are feeling overworked, or like you're giving too much to everyone else, or like you're stressed out and you want basically rest, fairness, someone else to help out with everything. Like, you don't have to do everything. Now, historically, or through this reading, the card out here has been sort of an advice card, really. Like a how to get to where you want. And here it's 6 of Coins, which is kind of funny. Because 6 of Coins is very often having enough, or rather having so much that you can share. Now, we're probably going to need a clarifier on this, but if what you need is rest, and to not have to control everything, take care of everything, having enough to share it. If you take care of everything, you dress the kids, you cook the food, you whatever it is, you have enough tasks to share. Share them. And that's where this comes in, I think. With the Page of Cups and Justice, don't abuse this. Don't let others abuse you either. You are not their caretaker or their mother. Even if you are their mother, you are not the be-all, end-all, the only one who can save the world. So don't let others take advantage of you, but don't take advantage of others either. Even if they have in the past blatantly used you, if you start seeking revenge with someone that you still want to be around, it's just going to be a negative feedback loop where they will be upset and angry and like, why am I only have to do everything now? You used to. In this situation, if it is like, let's say you are an overworked housewife, just as example, and your partner, you could be an overworked house husband as well. Let's not put gender into this, but most frequently with the whole overworked home thing, that usually is actually female. Historically, maybe it's better nowadays. In my generation, at least, that was how it was. Never mind. Let's skip sexes and genders and orientations and just go with, if you are a stay-at-home partner and you have to take care of everything, to an unfair proportion. Dumping everything on your partner tomorrow is probably just going to make them angry because they're used to this now. They're used to you taking care of everything, and that's become their norm. That's become their natural. And especially if you haven't been making, I'm not saying you haven't, but if you haven't been making clear statements that this isn't working for me early on and they've been ignoring you, but if you've been giving hints, and a lot of people are good at hints because, or good at is maybe, we tend to prefer hints because it's easier when we love someone or we think highly of someone, we respect someone, we want them to be aware, we want them to be in tune. So when we say, we drop a hint about how it's boring always having to cook, then they're not gonna suddenly start cooking. They might suggest the food or something, or they might cook once a week. They're not going to take over the cooking. If, on the other hand, you would have said right from the start, I am not cooking, I hate cooking, this makes me miserable, can we split this 50-50, or maybe even 60-40, and made that a clear line, but perhaps you didn't, because who wants to do that? It's really boring drawing those very straight, like mathematical, not very emotional. I'm not saying that's the case here. It's just an example. But if you then tomorrow stop cooking altogether, the reaction is not going to be understanding. The reaction is going to be, what is the problem now? You've been doing this the whole time. I mean, I get that it's boring, but did you just stop now? Are you trying to mess with me? Did I do something? Are you angry? And then you've built it up for a misunderstanding, hostility, bitterness, resentment. Not good. Justice sort of says, and with the Page of Cups. So I suddenly understand why you did get 2 cards here. Share. You are overworked. You need a rest. Share. But do it lovingly. Do it not with resentment and anger, but with understanding and compassion with both yourself and the other person. Make sure that it is reasonably fair in your situation, whatever your situation might be. And I keep going to relationships as default examples here. It could be a job where you have a coworker who never does anything. Well, have them do something. Ease them into it. But make sure that you're not suddenly taking advantage of them just because you felt taken advantage of. You see how I mean? It's justice, but with trust, with love, with compassion and understanding. So that you don't assume that someone has been reading your mind all these years or months or days or whatever and just ignoring you. That probably wasn't what happened. Probably it was a failure of communication on both ends, or their end, or your end, or it doesn't matter end, as long as we can fix the problem now. Which we can. Just share some of your burdens, but make sure to do it fairly. Okay, what you most need right now from the people or situations or surrounding energies externally. That's a good word. What you most need from external right now would be there. Okay. So what I think that you might need right now, first of all, the 2 of Swords can indicate not having to make a decision. So you might need someone to not force you into making a decision right now. With the Empress here, I'm going to say you might need your surrounding world, whether job, friend, family, partner, to let you pamper yourself a bit, to let you take time off from all these things that you feel overwhelmed by, whether it be work or home chores or so on. These, again, has been a sort of advice card, and this is the Eight of Pentacles, which is work. But that means that someone might have to cover a bit of the work. I'm going to use the housewife or house partner example again. Like, let's say you cook for your partner 7 days a week, and now you're tired, you need a vacation, you don't want a divorce, you just want things to change. You don't want a divorce, so they don't push you into making some kind of decision. They let you take off to pamper yourself and take it easy for a while, but by providing their own food for these 7 days so you can relax. And whether they then go to a restaurant 7 days a week, or if they cook for themselves, or if they force one of their friends to do it, that's not your problem. If you make it your problem, then that really shows the resentment that may have. And again, the cooking and partnership is just an example. I should not be saying this, but I'm still going to do it. I have a colleague that is a very nice person. Very nice person. But can be a bit the path of least resistance at work. That is to say, this person does their job and does it really well, but does not go above and beyond. And sometimes I need them to do that because my job, in my position, I sometimes absolutely have to be 2 people. I only have 2 hands. In some elements of my job, I need 4 hands. I don't have that, so I can ask someone to help. And this person, who is, by the way, that's why I feel like I shouldn't be saying this, because they might be angry or sad with me. But they know I feel this way, so it won't really matter. Also, they don't watch my videos so far, so it doesn't matter. But when I ask this person for help, they will do anything in their power to get out of having to help me, because they're not very work-oriented. It's still a nice person. And if I really explain, but I rarely do, because I have a different attitude to my job, I guess. Not better necessarily, just different. So when I go ask for help, I don't detail why and how and when and how much and do a whole explanation of everything surrounding it. I just go, could you please come help me? And they go, no, I don't want to. And then I'm angry. Instead of explaining why, to motivate, I become angry because they refuse to help me when I just asked for it. And that makes sense to me that I would be angry, but if I was them, it would probably make sense that I would maybe need to explain why I want that help, why I need that help, so that they can understand that I'm not just trying to use their time or being lazy. I actually need help. If I explain that, I'm fairly certain this person would actually help me, and I wouldn't have to be angry. And it's kind of the same thing here. You don't have to become unfriends. Yeah, anti-friends with someone just because you have this situation where you're doing everything and they're not doing so much. Open up the communication, but also take some time off, relax, just rest in that and let them take care of themselves for a while. They are capable of that. We're gonna get a dragon advice card for you as well, and I also will, well, we'll get to that. Dragon advice card. But I love your meditation card. Your meditation card is the witch hair. Cross the threshold, leap the hedge, go over the wall. So, cross the threshold, leap the hedge, go over the wall. That sounds like running away for a while. Sounds like a small vacation to me, but you have to meditate on it. You also, as a dragon advice card, have Lucky Clover Dragon. And it says luck. And luck in itself isn't as much an advice. Well, it is. Focus on where you're lucky. But it suggests that you might be lucky right now. We are gonna take a clarifier first of all. I'm not sure how to phrase this. Let's look at what it is you actually need. Like, this says what you need, but it feels more like it's focusing on something outside. What is it that you need? This is a big one. Okay, and there we have it. 4 of Wands, perfection, the little marriage, the celebration. I think you want to feel like this is a team effort, that you are two parts. So let's say it's a friendship or a job or a relationship that both parties are happy, participating, doing their share. That is what you need, according to this, that your input and the other entity's input are corresponding fairly and optimistically, frankly. So when you go off to pamper yourself because you're overworked and this person feeds themselves, you wouldn't want them to grump going, yeah, it was a lot of hard work, thanks, you're back and can cook for me again. You'd want them to go, oh, how nice, and now I get to learn how to cook for myself. I don't know where that example, I do know where that example is coming from, but you'd want them to be enthusiastic about your life, be it relationship, friendship, family, work, so on, to be oh, I lost a word again. A cooperation, a team effort, doing it together because you want to. You want to feel like you're part of a team, an equal, where both parties actually want the teamwork, or the team effort, or the collaboration, where they want to do this together, where it's not. Again, I'm going to use the example of cooking for someone, where you don't feel like they treat you like a personal chef, but rather as, wow, you are such a good cook and I love eating your food and you are amazing. And that there is gratitude and this is what I do for you instead, or as a fair exchange. Not that everything has to be justice by the inch, but that they actually put in as much as they take out. That's what you want to experience. Have you communicated this? Because if you haven't, your meditation card seems to suggest run away. Actually, we're gonna just because I'm feeling like it, should you run away from this situation? Whatever it is, I'm feeling a bit gutsy here. No, no. I'm gonna have to go with that being a no. You should not run away. You should probably no, yeah, there it is actually. You should do exactly what it said here. This isn't running away, not permanently. This is sharing. This is you taking the time off you need. Stop doing everything. Communicate it. Share your tasks. But do it fairly. Do it with love and compassion for the other person. And don't heap it all over them all at once. Ease them into it. Explain the hows and whys. Have an open communication with them if possible. Some people just cannot be communicated with. I know, I've had bosses like that in the past. But at least then you're doing your part because you want. I keep forgetting the word. Oh well, if I come up with it, I'll put it in. But this is kind of it. It seems like you have the choice to stop carrying the world on your shoulder. And the only thing you need from the external environment is for them to take care of themselves for a while you rest up and treat yourself as a queen. pamper yourself, enjoy yourself. That's what you need right now. So don't be shy about sharing your burdens with people. But don't dump it on them, because that will only result in like hostility. And even if they are spoiled, let's say it's a child, then if you spoiled them, then you did that. Even if it was wrong, even if it was someone else's fault, it's still something that happened. And you can't just pull the rug now. You have to ease them into it. So that's what you do. Ease them into it. Take some time off for yourself and ease the other person or situation into that you have to share, that there has to be a fair exchange, that you have to both be adults and take responsibility. And try communicating with them. It doesn't actually say that anywhere here, so that's up to you, but I still believe in open communication. It doesn't seem like you should dump the situation altogether. And it seems what you really want, reciprocity. There it is, the word I've been looking for, reciprocity. That's what you want. Try to communicate with them. Good luck with this. Finally then, hello and welcome everyone who chose pile number 6. This, I don't think anyone can actually see it, so I'm gonna lift it up a bit. It's a little paracut opal, and my camera is too bad to actually show it. It's actually genuine, not lab grown, but the camera will not zoom on it. What the? There. Ah, I didn't help. Oh well. Anyways, we are looking at what you need most in your life right now. We're going to start over on this side with what you need that you can give yourself. And then we're going to look over here at what you might need from others. For example, then, if you need a good night's sleep, you can give that to yourself. Unless you have other responsibilities, like, for example, you need a babysitter. That's where this would show up, because then you need someone to babysit. Hopefully you understand the idea. And we'll go into this now, starting with what you need that you can provide for yourself. There we go. That's actually... So you have the Page of Swords, the Knight of Coins, and the Two of Wands. Through this reading, the cards out here have been more of like advice position, sort of like an advice card, but more of like method. It's a bit hard to explain. Well, with the Page of Swords, that's usually new communications. Now this could mean, and for me this felt kind of funny because it's something I've been planning on. One of the interpretations for this card is actually that you should write a book. How I interpret it isn't necessarily for you. This card is very much about communication, sharing ideas, sharing plans, sharing thoughts. So it's a lot of sharing, but it is a communication card in a lot of ways. So there is something you need or want to, but need, since it's need, to communicate. But the fun part is the fact that you can do it for yourself. Meaning that probably the idea with books, writing a book, writing a song, or recording a speech, making a video, something like that. It's a communication that is active on your end, but doesn't actually require someone listening to you when you do it. I mean, every communication wants a receiver, almost. But this seems for like a sort of expression. It could also mean taking a course in learning how to improve your communication style, and you could technically do that yourself by applying to it. You don't need it from the outside world, because you apply, they provide. Then you have the Knight of Coins, which is very much man of action type thing, but also sowing. Well, you look at this, he's out. I don't know what that word is, but when you're tilling, sort of. But I guess the word is different when you're doing it with a cow. And then you sow things. He's sowing stars. He's planning for a brighter future with his action there. And he is of the coins, so the earth, money, physical realm, property, that sort of thing. But he is laying the groundwork for it. And then at this point, or this position, I've put things that are very much advice card rather than what you need. And in this case we have the Two of Wands, which is this. You're not passing here right now. You need a plan first. You need to be sure where you're going with this sort of thing. So, as it seems, you need to express yourself. You have something you need to express. And you have something you need to plan for the future. Make a solid foundation. And you need to make a plan first. So, that doesn't sound incredibly exciting, which is probably a good thing. But you might then be... Now, just gonna say, you might be writing a book. This is, to me, very much a writing a book card. But you need to plan it out first. I've written books. Have I mentioned that in previous videos? I don't know. I've written books. 9 of them. No. Yes, 9. One is a 5-part series, and one is a standalone novel, and then 3 of them are a trilogy of full-size novels sort of thing, but they are a trilogy. They're not done yet because I haven't gotten them edited, and they're not past draft, first draft, very rough draft. But I love all of them. I've written books, and I guess that's why my first thought on this is, ooh, you're writing a book. It could be any kind of communication that you do. You could be writing a screenplay, or as said, learning how to speak in front of crowds, or that sort of thing. But it is something that you plan on making something serious out of. You need to do this. You need to express yourself, and you need to do it in a planned and dependable way. And then you need to make a plan first, not just jump into it. That makes sense. You could also actually be, for example, starting a YouTube channel or a TikTok or something like that. Those are very common forms of self-expression and communication nowadays, which can feel one-sided. Like, I've sat here babbling now for a long time. And I don't know if anyone's going to look at this video. I don't know if anyone's going to care. But I'm still doing it. And in the things I say here, and the examples I give, I actually get to express myself as well. If that makes sense. So maybe you're starting a channel where you're going to talk about something you like. In that case, the Two of Wands with the planning, really, like tempering yourself until you're sure exactly where you're going, is even more important. Because first impressions, like with this channel, for example, I decided very early on to not have adverts and not actively try to make money, not actively do any adverts or stuff. If people find this channel, it's fine. I would love for that. But if I would put adverts, if I would make this into a business rather than just a fun hobby, then with that comes obligation. I would have to post readings with a certain, like, time, well, a schedule, basically. I would have to say things that people wanted to hear, because if you say things that people don't want to hear all the time, they're gonna stop coming. I would have to plan my life around this channel. I don't want that. I want this to feel fun. I want every time I make a video for it to be because I want to. And the same thing was now, when I did the repair stop work, I didn't post a single video, I don't think. I didn't record one, at least. I was too tired. I didn't wanna. If this was a profit-driving business, that would be self-offing. Not good. Would have been a very bad thing. So if I actually wanted to make a profitable business out of this communication, I would really need a plan. As it was, I didn't make a plan. I bought a cloth, I put it on my desk, I took a webcam that I've had since early Stone Age, and then I took the stuff I already had. That is not entirely true. The crystal ball is actually bought specific for this channel. I didn't have that before. I always wanted one, but I never could quite, like, motivate it. And when I said, oh, I'm gonna get this channel started, I realized that I needed something round because I had this. And that's the yin-yang thing at work. One big round, round, hard, solid. Yin-yang, yang, you get where I'm going with this. The black, white, female, male, opposing energies. I really wanted that. It speaks to me. So I had to get a crystal ball. If this was a profit driving business, I'd be screwed. I think I have, like, I don't know. Never mind about me, but you get the example. If you are going to put out a form of communication that is not a dialogue, and you want to build something with it, you need a solid plan. You can't just jump head first. You need to think and plan first. Whether that is a book, a TikTok, a YouTube, or speaking at work, or becoming a public speaker, or anything like that, singer, anything, you need a plan. What you need from the external or outside world, my throat is really getting all dry, and I didn't bring any water, so you're gonna have to put up with me being a bit, what you need from the outside world, or external to you. Interesting. So we have Strength, the Magician, and Seven of Cups. So something tells me what you need a lot from the people around you right now is support, but they're gonna have to let you sort of say how to support you from time to time. It's gonna change. Like, okay, we're gonna use the example of writing a book now, because that's something I'm familiar with. Some days you just don't feel like writing, you're too lazy, but you might want to bounce ideas for plot, or you might need a proofreader, or you might want someone to, like, tell you, is this idea good? Is this character good? Should this blah blah blah? So this could be lots of things. Seven of Cups, many options, many choices, that you might need different things from them every day, really. And then they might need to be very strong and not, well, first of all, not push you. Because if this is a creative venture, which it might be, pushing, and this is something I recently spoke to someone I know about, pushing, even if it's meant as encouragement, and of course it is. People love you, they want you to succeed, so they encourage you. But some days the encouragement really comes off as obligation. You should be doing this, not, oh, I love it when you do this. And obligation isn't fun. And let's say that this is a creative venture, then obligation is the last thing you need. It's not fun. It kills creativity. So they're gonna have to offer you many ways of support, and they're gonna have to be strong enough, I guess, to let you come to them. Sort of. But with the magician, and I'm gonna be almost literal with this actually, you need them to be a bit of a magician sometimes. I am very lucky. I have a magician like that. Well, I have several. I have, well, my mom, my dad, my friends, but the main one I'm thinking about actually is my brother. Because whenever I'm stuck in anything I'm doing, I can always turn to my brother and he always has a solution. And he is the biggest annoyance on the planet because he never solves the problem for me. Instead, he does this Hollywood guru thing where he drops me hints like the turtle who walks the fastest is also the slowest. That was a really bad example. These cryptic things where I have to think and interpret, and by the time I'm done doing that, I'll just go, "You're a genius, why didn't I think of this?" And he goes, "No, well, now you did. You thought of it. I didn't tell you anything," and he's right. But he likes giving me that sort of feedback. It's the same when we fix cars, actually. He's a schooled car mechanic. He works as a car mechanic. And then I go, "I have to change my brakes. Can you please change my brakes for me?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." And I go, "That's very nice, and I already know where this is going," but I take my car to the garage with him, and then I go, "Thank you so much for offering to fix my brakes." And he goes, yeah, that's fine. Could you start by taking down the tires, though, while I prep the tools?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can take down tires. I've done that a million times. Well, several thousand at least. I used to work with it." So I get the tires down. And then he goes, "I can't find this tool. Can you remove the..." This is a weak spot in me. I don't actually know the English terms for the brake parts, but the big lumpy things that you put the discs into. So he goes, "Can you take those off while at it? I mean, that's no big deal, and I'll fix the rest when I find this tool." And I go, I know where this is going, and I get those down. And then he goes, "Yeah, can you get the discs as well, because I have to go to the bathroom?" Okay, so I get the discs down, and you know where this is going. By the time he's come with 5 more excuses and now he's gonna order pizza, it's like, "Yeah, but if you just put the tires back on while I order pizza and then we can go eat." And I'm like, "I just changed the brakes. I did everything." And he goes, "Yeah, I know. And now you know how to do it next time. You don't need my help." And I'm like, heh. That was a very fast middle finger. I love my brother, but he always does that. He teaches me by pretending to do, sort of thing. Which puts me in a situation where I have to think, where I have to do, where I have to tap into a way of thinking or being that I don't normally do. This person might have to be that for you. They might have to push and encourage while gently pulling you along. They might have to give you ideas that you didn't have without telling you that they're your idea. They might have to be a creative stimulants. Instead of adding the obligation, they might add the creative questions like, "Oh, this was so exciting. Let's pretend again that it's a book." And they go, "This is so exciting, I cannot wait. What is going to happen?" And instead of saying every morning, "Did you write any more? Did you write any more? Did you write any more?" they could turn into a crazy fan person and go, "I think I figured it out. Okay, this is what happens. When your character did that and that, I'm pretty sure it means this and this." And you can go, "No." And sooner or later, because you're in this situation in my example, then you're stuck in a writer's cramp. You don't, writer's block, I think it's in English. You don't know what happens next, but they've come up with 700 crazy ideas, and suddenly you're like, that could be it. you're inspired again. Same if it's a TikTok channel or a YouTube channel or anything that it might be. This person could do what my brother does and be cryptic and give you ideas while not actually knowing that they give you ideas. So I'm probably, after this video, next video I do is probably going to have to be a new how can I best help this person video. And then if there is a pile there for your person in that, you just send them to that video and go, oh, this pile made me think of you, so that we can get them on board as well. Because I think that's what you need from them. Letting you choose the support you need, being strong enough to not feel hurt when you maybe don't want their input or their help that day or the other, and helping you along without making it obvious. Now, we're going to look at your meditation card, and we're getting a dragon advice card. Okay. Well, there are a lot of lucky people right now. I wonder if it has anything to do with Jupiter. I am curious, though. I don't know if this is creative or if it's business. I know I shouldn't be that specific, but now I am. For reasons. The Eight of Swords. Okay, that's weird. This is probably something that you think you're not good at, that you're trying to improve. That's kind of interesting. So I still don't know if it's creative or business. I just know that it's something that you feel that you're not being good enough at or expressing yourself enough with. Where you want to get out of sort of a box or a cage or a stalemate. You want to develop. I love my cards, see, because I've said so many times I don't want to be too specific because then it will exclude people. And they give me this, which doesn't exclude anyone really, because it's still you using this development for improvement. I love these cards. But yes, you need a plan. For once, you need a proper plan. Now, this is the whole reason I bought this deck. This is the Troll Fae. See how beautiful she is? And she says, follow the secret signs, as treasures can be found where you least expect them. Follow the secret signs, as treasures can be found where you least expect them. That's your meditation card. And this is my baby. This is me. It's the Troll Fae. That's the Troll Market Tarot. This is the start of everything. This is why I started this channel. Because she needed more than just being a card, apparently. I love her. Love her. And then we have the Lucky Clover Dragon with luck. You are lucky right now. And also you need to appreciate your luck. Yeah. And this person, who we are going to try to make a how can I best help this person video and trick them into watching, you should probably feel really lucky that you have them too. Even if they don't best understand right now how to best support you, they are trying. They're doing, you know, everything they can think of to support you in probably everything you ever try to do. That's worth being grateful over too. Even if they're doing the wrong things, you have to recognize the intention. Anyways, that's a lot of babbling just to... What you need right now is to express yourself in a new way that also bears a foundational sort of progress plan, I guess. But you need to make a plan. You need to know what you want to achieve. You need to know how. If you're writing a book, it might be a good thing to do proper mapping of chapters and storyline rather than just pantsing it. Maybe snowball or onion. These are writing methods that you can look up. Or if you know, whatever it is. But it is some form of communication, a new form of communication that you're doing. And yeah, you need a proper plan. And from your surroundings, then you need support. But you don't need obligation, you don't need pressure. You need a magician to offer you the options to make everything sparkly and nice. You can probably borrow my brother if you want him. I can ask him. Okay, please, I'm so curious though. This one, on a personal level, so curious what this is about. Please tell me, please. And good luck. I, however, need sleep now, so that's what I'm gonna do. Good night, and see you again in a later video.